Hello. I'm Naomi, and this is Bryaunna.
I'm Bryaunna Root.
Yes. And so we are starting something brand new today. And it's kind of a big deal to us because it's just new and different and fun. But this is the beginning of the Joyful Mystic Project, where we plan to get together, pull cards, do healings, talk astrology, Reiki, Theta Healing, all the other fun things. And we'll see where this place evolves and what we end up doing with it. And but for now, it's a place to explore and enjoy being kind of spiritual and goofy at the same time, and just really tuning in with ourselves and the stars and the earth and each other. So, yay! So, a little bit about ourselves. Like, my name is Naomi Castellano, but I've been going by Star Scribe because it's just so much fun. But I am an intuitive astrologer, Reiki master, shamanic practitioner, many things, an artist, a dreamer. And I love to blend all of this together and offer something new and exciting to the healing world. So that's what I'm here doing.
Beautiful.
And then my friend Bryaunna.
Yes. And I'm Bryaunna Root. I am a holy fire Reiki Master Practitioner. I'm an advanced DNA theta healer, and I'm a holistic nurse coach. And so I get to bridge kind of this more physical world and the understanding of ourselves in the physical world as being, as physical bodies, and bridge that with more etheric and energy-based concepts in that part of ourselves. So really, truly taking a holistic approach to health and wellness and personal development. And so I love how Naomi and I, when we get to come together, how we get to just really channel some really amazing messages and kind of feed off of each other in our unique views of what it is to be a human being in this time here and now. So I'm so excited to see what gets to unfold and come forward, and the wisdom that gets to be shared today.
And today is really cool because it is kind of an important astrological day, and part of the reason why we decided to start this today, and it's so like divinely timed, because it's the Jupiter and Neptune alignment today, which means that this is an alignment that happens actually every about, don't quote me on this, but maybe 13 years or so, where Jupiter and Neptune come into the same space. But it's not every day that Jupiter and Neptune combine in the sign that is their favorite sign. And so this happens only once out of every 166 years or so, maybe longer than that. But that's the last time that happened for us. So this is only going to happen in this lifetime for us. So, and what that means to me personally is Jupiter is like he is the joyful one. He expands what we want to breathe into. And so if we are intentional about expanding our gifts and our well-being, then that is what will show up. So being really intentional with what you want to expand. And Jupiter is the big time helper with that. And then Neptune is the mystic, which loves to dive into these liminal spaces, get really into the unknown kind of spaces, and dream like all these new ideas into being. And so for both of them to also be in Pisces, which is their favorite sign, Jupiter was the ancient ruler, Neptune is the modern ruler, and that's happening in a water sign. So this is like, I had to put this painting up on the wall. This is a painting I made of Sedna.
Beautiful.
It's an interpretive thing of but she is the one that goes all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, and what she actually brings up is her wisdom of the deep, deep sea, and how that nurtures all of us into being. So we've got this really beautiful alignment. We picked the name of this channel before we even thought about
Right?
doing this particular day. And so here we are launching the Joyful Mystic with the
Oh,
Joyful
I love
Mystics
it. I
up in
love
the
it.
sky. I'm just like so tripping out on that. Like the synchronicity is off the chart.
It's beautiful.
So yeah, I'm thinking we do a little grounding to
Absolutely.
really like bring down that star wisdom that's coming in big time. I'm going to touch on that just a little bit actually before I just realized
Yeah.
that we've got I'm going to be all jumbly. Oh my goodness. But part
We're
of
good.
part of what I do for in astrology is not just look at the planets. I also look at the specific stars that are coming into alignment with us now also. And I feel like this is really extra. It puts like the extra sprinkles, extra spice on an astrology chart, because then we can see just like the like more layers of what is making our reality. So right now we've got Regulus that is conjunct the moon, which is it is one of my favorite stars.
Yeah.
I've got Regulus conjunct my midheaven. And so when I am shining my brightest, it is like that heart of the lion that comes out that and so yeah, you've got Regulus conjunct the moon right now. And so that is really like shining this big bright lion heart into our emotional body, our subconscious body, so that we can illuminate our feelings and not run or hide from them, just actually embrace them with strength of a lion,
Love
a
that.
lioness.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the one that's actually conjunct Jupiter and Neptune at the moment is a star called Merkab. And Merkab is a star in the sign of Pegasus. And Pegasus is this beautiful mythical horse with wings that can fly like up through, all the dimensions, through all time and space. It was, a divine messenger, and just such a sacred being. So it's just amazing to see all these different alignments happening simultaneously. And there's so much more, but that's really all that we're going to touch on. We're going to really deeply engage those particular aspects and activate them within us, because that's where it really all comes down to being, is like it needs to be embodied. We can't just like have it all hanging out in this, deeply unrooted. So I've talked enough
Yeah.
about all that. So now, Bryaunna, you
Yeah.
can help us actually like get back into our body and bring, you know,
Absolutely.
get our roots going on, Bryaunna. Root. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I love, normally I just connect into the ground, but what I'm really feeling called to, and you brought this up, how was it Neptune really talking to like the depths, or not Neptune, sorry, what were you saying? Like the ocean, coming up from the
Oh
ocean. Oh,
yeah.
your picture, your painting, what was that? Say that name
Yes.
again so I don't butcher it.
Sedna. Yeah.
Sedna. So you
Yeah.
talked about really going down and bringing that light up. And I know that when we've talked and you've read my chart before, that was something that you found in there as far as being really able to penetrate to the depths of things. So that way we can bring them up and shine a light on them. And in the work that I do with people, it's very much about releasing. If anybody understands theta healing, it's all about releasing, changing, shifting beliefs on a cellular level. And it's amazing how deeply impactful and healing that can be. And I say that because moving forward, and I think with the energy of the stars and the alignments and everything going on right now, it's really moving past our fears, right? And not letting our fears stop us, but allowing them to look at, and shine a light on those things that we get to change because we're ready for them. And so I think I'm going to twist this a little bit from my normal, but that's great. So I appreciate you being flexible and just being open to receiving this. And as Holy Fire Reiki practitioner and theta healer, I am sending unconditional love and healing energy to anyone who is open and willing to receive that, and allow yourself to receive it, because we all need that right now. But then also just grounding inner energy so we can better create a foundation for us to understand and integrate the wisdom that gets to come through today. So thank you. So if you can have your feet on the ground, that's beautiful. Just really feeling that connection into the earth, and just close your eyes, whether you're sitting, whether you're lying down, just allowing yourself to relax into this space and in this time, bringing your attention to your breath. Noticing the sensation as the air moves in through your nose and out past your lips with each exhale. Feeling your body sinking more deeply into the chair, the bed, the surface beneath you. Feeling safe and secure. Allowing yourself to relax more deeply into this moment with every exhale. And bringing your attention to the feet. Begin to notice a tingling sensation on the soles of your feet. And start to visualize tiny little roots beginning to sprout out through the bottoms of your feet. And as they grow longer and dig deeper, imagining these roots growing down into an ocean of absolute, divine, and unconditional love. Allowing your body to be submerged into this space as the roots move deeper through the different layers of the ocean until you come to the very bottom of the ocean. Maybe even visualizing those vents at the bottom where gas and water and other materials from the very core center of the earth come through and bring a source of heat and sustainability for things that might not normally be able to survive. And feeling that connection, that resilience of this space, grounding into that, feeling that strength from the very heart and the very core of Mother Earth, that resiliency, feeling that energy, that love, that light, that healing energy moving up through the core roots from the very center of the earth, feeling that move up through the roots, up through the different layers of the ocean, up into the bottom of your feet, and allow that energy to just begin to fill every cell of your body, embracing every molecule, saturating every particle, every light wave and frequency of your being with this absolute, divine, unconditional love, resilience, and healing energy. Allow that energy to move up through the base of your spine, through your root chakra, providing a stable foundation and sense of security up through the sacral space, opening up that center for creativity and creation, moving up into that solar plexus, that sense of I am, your authenticity, moving up through the heart space, opening up that heart, allowing for yourself to give and receive unconditional love, and opening up to the possibilities before you, continuing to move, allow that energy to move up through your throat space, empowering your self-expression and all the wisdom that you get to bring into this world. Allowing that energy to move up between the eyes, up through the third eye space, bringing clarity and vision of possibilities. And then finally allowing that energy to move up through your crown chakra at the top of your head, connecting with your soul star chakra about 2 feet just above. And allow yourself to feel the energy of yourself as a whole being, as healed and as loved and lovable. Allow this energy to balance all chakras, heal them, activate them, and balance them perfectly. And allow that energy to move out through the top of your head, surrounding you and your aura in a beautiful bubble of protection and healing and love. And as we expand that energy out beyond our physical body, beyond our aura, and allow it to connect with those around us in the most positive and high vibrational way. Allow yourself to call that energy back into the heart space, centering yourself and grounding this energy in. Taking 2 more breaths here in this space. Allowing yourself to feel once more the power and the magnitude and the beauty and the magic of you. And whenever you're ready, you can open up your eyes. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
That felt deep for sure. So I hope
Right.
that everyone, share in the comments if you experienced anything, whether it's physical sensations, visual pictures, hearing messages, however you receive your guidance, just allowing yourself to trust in that more. And the more we acknowledge it, the more we can trust it and understand it. And that's something that we'll work on later, is changing some obligations that we can't trust ourselves. So we'll jump into that later.
Yeah. What I love about creating this space is that it really is a space for us to connect. So it's not just us hanging out here, acting as if we're experts at this. There's no expert anywhere on the planet. We are all doing this by experiment, and we're all learning how to trust ourselves, each other, our guidance. And so, a place down below with the comments and everything. It would be lovely to hear everybody's experiences and just your own wisdom. And then what I've started loving with other channels and other people's comment threads is people then helping each other. And it's just beautiful because it's like, this is a way we create network of healers, network of people that support each other.
Absolutely. And in the work that I do, celebration is paramount. Celebration amplifies the energy of where you're at, and it creates a higher platform for you to jump off of. And so celebrating what you're experiencing, whether you understand it or not, just that you allowed yourself to experience something new or different, if it is new for you, or allowing yourself to receive whatever it is that you're meant to receive in that moment, recognizing it, acknowledging it, and celebrating it. And we would love to celebrate that with you and just continue to amplify your energy as we are moving forward in this time of the unknown and opening up to bringing our true gifts to light and to the people who are ready to receive it, whatever that is. So,
yes. Yeah. I'll drink out of my big old teacup. Love and be loved.
Yes. Oh, I love you and your bees. It's beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's start with pulling some cards.
Yeah.
I would love to get some messages specifically from these different planets, and we'll also tune into the stars to see what wisdom they have for each of us. And my intention with the reading is that each of us actually we receive exactly what we need to hear at this moment, at this time. And so if you've already tuned in, that means the message you're here, like you'll get something from this.
Yeah.
So to me, that's always so exciting when it feels like the stars themselves are speaking to you.
Yes, that's so fun.
Oh my goodness, that's way too many cards. Half the deck fell out. So we're not going that. All right. So maybe with the help of everyone here, let's tune into specifically Jupiter. Specifically Jupiter. And let's pull down and actually from within, because right, everything comes from within. So not only as below and so above. So if there's a Jupiter in the sky, there's also a Jupiter inside. So pull from inside that joyful mystic that you have. What gift, what information? Oh, look at how it popped right out. 3 cards. Okay. The 3 cards that we have pulled from within. Okay. So yang energy. I'm going to keep going with this before I start interpreting. To the sea. And then and Treasure Island.
Oh my goodness. So much about like ocean, water,
right.
All so appropriate with these energies. Like, that's great.
If you look at the 2 cards, To the Sea and then Treasure Island, they're both actually like a little person in a boat, and then this sea turtle with this gift on top.
I love it.
And they're both right in the middle of the sea, but they're also on the surface of the sea.
Right.
Which I think is kind of important. And so we'll tune into this in a minute, because this one I'm getting a big message that when we really are desiring something, if we're really trying to manifest something, if we're really wanting something so much, it needs to be both heart and mind in connection. And then yang is act on it. So
beautiful.
Not just sitting still with the wisdom that you get from your heart and your mind connection. Yeah. But we need to actually do things. We need to actually act, but with integrity, with divine masculinity. That like when I think of divine masculine, it's the one that knows when to do something and when not to do something. And it's that part of ourselves that can listen rationally, logically. But then everything is paired with the sea, which is so deeply yin. And it's so nourishing. So it's like, let's act on things that actually nourish us.
I love that.
And so also like floating in this liminal space, a new way that I've really started to anchor in meditation is being able to just, I feel into my body. And then I also like start listening to the external sounds. I've stopped listening to guided meditations for a minute and music and actually just like listen to the world around me,
Mhm.
and doing this kind of both and where I'm
Yeah.
listening to the world, I'm listening to myself, and then something kind of amazing happens in that space where I start to pull, like I'm actually like, so if this is outside and this is inside, I am that little boat hanging
Mhm.
out. And then, that's when you actually can most receive
Yeah.
the divine guidance to
Yeah.
help us move forward. And with that action, it shows me different actions that I'm ready to take.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, really? But I am really ready to take them. And so, this, I think, coming from this beautiful, like joyful planet, Jupiter, if this is the message, it's basically just saying, let's tune into the liminal space
Mhm.
and actually pull from that the wisdom that we need today.
Mhm.
So maybe taking even just 5 minutes,
Mhm.
to sit down and really like tune in, um, and see what message comes through for you specifically, and see what is it that you could actually start to manifest today. Like, dream big too. Dream really big.
Yeah.
This is actually a portal of huge like healing.
Mhm.
Actually, you were telling me something about that before we hopped on, about this being like huge healing for everyone.
Yeah. And that came into, and just as you were talking, what was coming up was, talking about the dreaming big, that's a huge part of this energy, right? And it's like what I'm seeing with what you're pulling in is we have this vast sea of possibilities in front of us. And we have everything that we need to now in this time to be able to bring those dreams to life and take action on them and to bring them into fruition, right? That's that action step. And this is a time with the energy of things. It's a time for great, absolute, great and divine collective healing. And so, and the more that we can connect with each other and raise the vibration of ourselves and those around us and our environment, that allows for the creation of um like such magical things that we're bringing into this world in a positive light. And I know I was looking at the energy, so I am a Pisces sun, a Taurus rising, and a Aries moon. So I'm getting some really interesting energy. But one of the things that came in was be careful about dreaming big. And then, maybe what comes into fruition isn't quite as expected, right? So it's going to be a little bit different, and that's okay. So there's a lot of energy of this surrendering the outcome, right? Dream big and then enjoy what comes along the way as you go on that journey of taking action towards your goal, because there's a sea of possibilities in front of you. And if we keep our outcome as expected based on what our own limited perspectives and paradigms can create, then then we're going to limit what we can create. And that was another energy that was coming in too, was the energy of recognizing that and accepting, right? Because we have to accept it first, that we have the power over our own path. We create our path, right? And taking that responsibility that we do, instead of giving our power away and letting others create our lives for us. And so what was coming in was like, yes, dream big, but also recognize that you get to create it. And by reclaiming your power, that's how you get to bring what your desires on a soul level are, right? And if you can also connect that with the energy of this, I think what was it, of like this charitable work, your hopes, the optimisms, the imagination, the creativity of what you can create. So if you're somebody that is being called to serve others, those are the women and the people that I love to work with, because we have, as healers, as intuitives, as empaths with a heart to serve, we have that ability to have a huge ripple effect and impact in the world, right? By serving one person. And so when that is the intent of what we're wanting to create, is for a collective benefit, then the energy of what we're experiencing right now and that healing energy for the collective is magnetized. And it was very much about bringing, it's a very powerful and rejuvenating energy, which is absolutely what we all need right now. Not only just because of COVID stuff in the last couple of years, but also we're coming out of winter, right? And at least in the northern hemisphere, we're coming out of winter. We're just coming into the spring. And it's like, this is that rejuvenating energy that we get to experience. Should we recognize that we do have power over our own path, we do create our own reality, and we are choosing to allow ourselves to accept and receive that rejuvenating energy to power all that we're called to create in this collective world, as as a community of people.
Yeah. No, it's so true. And it's like, as you were talking about that, I was just kind of seeing deeper into what these are talking about, because it's like that yang energy is the power, the will, the intent. Like, what is your intention about wanting to create something, or just anything at all? What is your intention?
Right.
And then this being, after the intention, after we have that spark of passion, of like, oh, I want to do this, or oh, I need this, then take a little bit of time to reflect on,
Yes.
then trying to see, well, what are the reasons that I want this thing? Is it because somebody else told me that I want this? Is it actually because I myself really want it? Like, where is this information coming from? And the only way to do that is to reflect, because it's your choice, it's your life, your intention. And then this purifies your intention. You distill it, you boil it down to the essence of what it is. You're taking it all the way down to the bottom of the ocean. Let's like take that intent and distill it, alchemize it. And then that is when the sea turtle is that power animal that can go deep, deep, deep down into the mysteries of the water, and then bring back these different treasures. For then, look at that golden color riding on its back. It's that same sunlight, that same sacral, and then that combination of both sacral creative energy and solar plexus light, life-giving energy. And that's coming up from the depths of the sea after we've distilled it, after we've really discovered, where is it coming from? And is it really something I truly desire?
Yeah.
So what I just found out actually about sea turtles is they do this mysterious thing. I saw it on a documentary where they actually go down, down, down deep into a cave. And it's the cave of their ancestors. It's a place actually where when sea turtles, I know, right? When sea turtles are ready to transition from this life, they go there. They go there, and then they rest. They rest in the belly of the ocean in a cave. And what I think is just so profound and so special is that this told me that, like, sea turtles are the ones that hold on to like the deepest, longest memories of their collective, of their species. Like, they hold on and they treasure what came before and what is to come. And so tap into the into your ancestors. So for me, this is a big, big part of the way that I do my healing. And it's interesting because this alignment is happening in my fourth house. In the fourth house, I encourage you all to take a look and see, where is this happening in your chart? Because for me, it's happening in my fourth house, which is all about my actual house. I've been
Nice.
cleaning, I've been
Perfect.
decluttering, I've been moving
Mhm.
things around. It's like spring has really sprung in here, and I'm like, all right, getting antsy with like wanting to redecorate. But
Mhm.
then on like more levels, this is like my childhood house. Like, and then
Mm.
going back even further, my ancestor, like
Mhm.
the lineage that I carry forward from them, that I am their dream embodied. This is
Oh,
this is what my
beautiful.
ancestors dreamed up, and way to go. Like, awesome. Thank
I
you.
love
Like,
that.
I'm very
Yes.
excited
Great job.
to be the ambassador of my of the line.
Oh,
And that's everybody. Each of us here,
yeah.
you are your ancestors' dream come true. And
Mm.
so how do we actually like honor that lineage and then
Mhm.
move it forward with love and intention, bringing the best of the best of the best forward?
Yeah.
And also not being too hard on yourself, because this is an experiment to play,
Yeah.
and they have our back. They, like, every time we tap into them, they're encouraging us and helping us move forward.
Oh, I love that. That's so beautiful. All of it,
Yeah.
just being the sea turtle, being in the belly, and connecting with the ancestors. And what I'm seeing too is, the energy of this time is there's, celebrating love and hope, interconnectedness, opportunity, expansion, optimism, all of those things. And when you bring it back to like the connection with the ancestors, and I love that idea and just the awareness and remembering that we are our ancestors' dreams embodied. That's amazing and beautiful. And it's also calling out, like right now in this time, I've done this with myself, with my clients, friends, family, all of that, but just really recognizing there's a time, or this time is about expanding from our lineage. And every single person that obviously is watching this YouTube channel, but so many of us are coming into that awareness, that awakening, that interconnectedness, and recognizing that I am choosing to step away from repeating the past that my ancestors have for so long, in whatever the way that is, right? And it can feel insanely daunting. I know it was for me initially, until I came to some modalities that really helped me move through it with grace and ease. And the more that you do it, the more that you work on it, the more that you allow yourself to be comfortable shining a light on those deeper, darker parts of ourselves, and recognizing that, you know what, half that stuff's not even me, right?
Mhm.
When you're talking about stepping into my authentic self, letting those filters dissolve around us from external projections, from society, from our ancestors, from our family, all of those things, right? When we are able to identify them, surrender them, release them, change them, whatever process you use for that, like that's what we're here for, right? So many people in our generation, before us, after us, it's like we're here to change that ancestral past. We are the first ones in our lineage to be aware enough to be able to do that, to have the resources, to have the wisdom, to be able to do that, and to have the guidance and support to do that, right? Because we're collectively coming into this awareness more and more, and at a much quicker rate, right? And I love bringing the energy of Jupiter in and bringing in that joyful aspect of it, right? It doesn't have to be hard, painful, and arduous. We can change that. We can change it, that that's what change has to be. So many of us allow that to keep ourselves small, or to keep ourselves from moving forward, and from expanding, because it hasn't been safe in the past. But that's no longer where the energy of the world is right now. And that's exactly what we're called to be doing, is to make those shifts. So that way, every generation after us, and as women, when we heal ourselves, we heal 7 generations before and 7 generations after. And again, talking about that huge ripple effect and impact that we get to have, whether it's in our own families, whether you're somebody that serves, others as far as your job, whatever that means. And so I really love that shift of energy, as seeing it as joyful, as positive, as all the potential and the optimistic aspects of changing and allowing ourselves to unfold and become the incredibly high vibrational being and loving energies that we are meant to.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Ah, So we'll thank Jupiter. Thank you.
Yes.
And then let's tune into Neptune. Let's see
That's
what
beautiful.
does Neptune want to tell us now. So just take a second and just really like as if you've got one of those old school telescoping little antennas, just like
I like it.
the bunny ears.
Oh my goodness. Yep.
Yeah. So, oh, hey, okay, Neptune was really excited about that because I didn't even really, it's just like, oh, look at that.
I'm ready.
Okay. Milk and honey with this like beautiful rainbow energy. Thinking, but this one came in reverse, but just, for the sake of being able to see the card.
Yeah.
Thinker. And then this one. Loyal.
Are those owls? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like these royal owls gazing at each other. Let me look at them for a second. All right, milk and honey, thinker reversed, and loyal heart. Okay, well, the first thing that's coming through big time is that release the tired old thoughts, the repetition, the thoughts. And this is actually a good way to play with intent. Is that, let's say that you have like a repeating thought of like, oh, I'm not worthy of this, or I can't do it, or just any negative repetitive thought that you might have. As soon as you notice it, twist it upside down, twist that thing upside down. So it's like, oh, I don't think I can do it. Stop it. I think I can do it. Doesn't matter if you don't believe. You don't need to believe it yet. And it's okay. Like the two owls, like this is like the deep, us actually being able to look at our shadow selves. And like the owl is the one that carries the mystery of the night. And like shines with those yellow bright eyes. And that's that sacral chakra happening again. But that's what owl brings up through the eyes. It has a piece of the sun to actually look into the dark of the woods that it's in. And so flip that thing on its head. So, like let's get vulnerable here. What's a repetitive thought of yours, Bryaunna? Because let's flip it around.
Failure is always, I've done a lot of work on that, but that's a common one, right? Like I'm going to fail because, and especially in the energy of this, we're expanding beyond our comfort zones. We're expanding into new territory. That's going to be a natural reaction and response for your body and for your thought processes, because anytime it's ever tried to do something new, you've probably not been successful the first time. And so, but are we going to let that stop us? Right.
So instead of like, oh, I'm going to bomb at this, I'm going to fail at this. This is, it'll never work out. Check it, stop it, because that's an old pattern. Delete the file. And, and then reframe it. It's like, just because I don't know what this is, just because I don't know how to move forward, doesn't mean it's going to fail. I might just succeed. In fact, why not intend to succeed? And it might not look the way that we thought it would if we dream about success. But even if we just see one tiny, minute little change, where we actually see the ripple of our intent, where, oh my gosh, something did succeed. Look at, and actually, here's a really silly example. Okay. Really silly example. I have like these like sweater pants that I'm wearing are like my all-time fave sweater pants. Oh my God. I love them. I love them. But they were gone. And so I just got the one because it was like, oh, I don't know if I really want them. And so I experimented. They're my favorite pants now. They're like the only pants I wear.
Right.
And then and I was just like, well, shoot, I only bought one. And so darn it, So now here's the weird thing is that I don't know where this intention came, but I walked into a store and I kid you not, they had a sale. It was buy one, get one free. And so we go to the checkout stand. I had no idea. She's like, oh, hey, everything you could get a free thing. So head on back, go get something for free. I head on back and lo
And you manifested that.
sweater pants. The
Oh
second,
my
like,
gosh.
and it's my favorite color, my favorite color. It
I love
matches
it.
everything. And I'm just like, so look at that. Okay, it's a really small
Yeah,
potatoes thing, but I freaking manifested my favorite is pants. And
you
so
did.
this is a win. This is a win.
Yes.
And
And
we
the more
all
that
have
you
these
accept
small
that,
things. Yeah,
right? The more that you
yeah,
recognize, like, I did manifest that. Look at
yeah,
that. I set my intention that I love these pants. I feel so great in them. You
yeah,
connected that emotional self, that heart center, to what you appreciated in all of this other stuff. And you creating that heart brain coherence is how we manifest things, how we create what we
totally.
want into this world, no matter how simple it is.
Right.
Because you got to start somewhere, right? How are you going to manifest something huge if you can't even acknowledge the stuff that you're already manifesting in your own life that may not feel so big? But when you acknowledge it more, you reflect back on, yes, I did that.
I
That
did
was
that.
me. Then
Yeah.
now it's
And
like,
it
now the universe
worked.
is going to bless you even more. Yeah.
Totally. And then, it's like then rippling out bigger and bigger and bigger things where it's
Yeah.
like here we're starting something brand new. For me, this has been one of, this frankly has been a fear of mine. Like, oh my God, speaking out in public, my face is out for people to see that I do,
Mhm.
weird things. And um and it's okay. Like it's,
Yeah.
flip it on its head that, you know, who knows where this is going to lead, and we don't
Mhm.
know what those beautiful intentions, when we actually start moving forward with them, when they really
Mhm.
are heart and head aligned, it
Mhm.
opens
Mhm.
up so many freaking doors.
It's
And
that
so
sea of
I just
possibilities. Yeah.
feel like the message from Neptune is really it's actually reminding me that Neptune, being the mystic, being the one that can go into the depths of our psyche, it also is the one where we can get confused. We get
Mhm.
it's a confusing, whirling place of,
Right.
these mysteries. There's a reason why it's a mystery. It's because it's uncharted territory.
Yeah.
So it Neptune is reminding us that, yeah, it's okay to not have all the answers, to know all the outcomes,
Mhm.
and to just keep moving along, because that is going to bring us to this beautiful
Yes.
place of the milk and the honey. Like, follow the rainbow,
Yes.
follow your breadcrumbs.
Absolutely.
And
And
then,
I
yeah,
have to share, because what I'm seeing with that
yeah,
is very much along the same lines, but it's like when you shift your thoughts, when you shift your mindset, when you shift your beliefs, that's when you can tap in to the wisdom of your heart, the wisdom of your soul. And when you connect your intentions and put them in alignment with what your heart and your soul desire, that is when you are creating magic and abundance and manifesting with grace and ease, because it's all in alignment and it's coming from a heart and a soul place, rather than, like what you said. um, an exercise I do a lot with my clients is, what do you want and why do you want it? Because if I want $1 million because it's going to bring me attention, or it's just going to get me the things I want, like, that's not enough of a connection to an intention to allow it to manifest. And so it's about connecting in with the emotional aspect of it. Why do I want this on an emotional level? Do I believe it'll bring me satisfaction? Do I believe it will bring me freedom? Do I believe it will bring me healing? What does that feel like? My intention, like, and so my theme or my intention for the year, my words are joyful freedom. When you can connect on something, and that was before we even did this, which is beautiful. All right.
Are we getting some like throat
Oh yeah,
activation going on?
because it's about an expression of ourselves, right? And
Take a second.
our heart's desires. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm just like, oh my God, so much throat stuff all at once.
But that's the medicine, right?
It totally
And it's
is.
connecting to that place when you're talking about the light. Our intuition is connected with our solar plexus as well, right? That I am center. And so when we're allowing our light to shine, we get to allow all of these things that have filtered it and have filtered our authentic selves to fall away.
Yeah.
And just like, for both of us, getting up and being seen was not part of our comfort zone, but it's like we're feeling the fear and doing it anyways, right?
know.
And that's our expansion.
And big time just coughed all over camera. So hey, really laying it all out there.
I appreciate your authenticity.
Heck yeah. So, oh my goodness, hold on. It's funny, the card that I lost it. But anyway, I love these because this is kind of like a little vibe check of the crowd. So let's get a vibe check of ourselves. And this activation is big time, and so while we're remembering the joy of it, it's also let's also honor how essential and how important it is to us as well. So oh my gosh, every single of these cards. All right, so we'll do a little tapping into the heart. Sometimes actually literally tapping your heart, tapping into the heart, to get a little check on our crowd. Okay. That way, not every single card, because every single one of us needs a little something different. Okay, so the top one here. Okay. It says, make a note of it. Make a note of it. So I think that's pretty important. And then the second one that actually fell out just as I was putting them away, play. Play. This Beautiful. Is huge. And it's also on the back of a horse, that Pegasus, that star that's aligning to Jupiter and Neptune right now. It's the back of the Pegasus. So get up on that horse and play. But then also it's saying make a note of it. And the thing that just dropped in right now is this thing that the guides were trying to tell me before, of making like a little intention notebook. Like when you think of it, when you're ready to write down your intentions. Yeah. And maybe it's on the new moon, the full moon, the half moon. Those are important as well. But making some kind of memorable trail so that you can reflect. It's easy to forget all the places that we've been. It's easy to think like, oh, it's always been exactly this way in the present moment. It's always been like this, when actually you are so far down the path. You just didn't take a look back and remember how far you've really come. So making a note of it and take a look. There's this like little angel back there. Regulus is the star that's conjunct the moon right now, and that's Archangel Raphael. In many different, there's so many different ways that you can look to the energy of these stars, but that's one facet. But yeah, so it's just like calling on your angels, calling on your guides to also help you reflect. And then when we do make a note of it, it's a great way for us to actually take what's inside us and make it manifest. That's the next level too.
And I love what you're talking about on that reflection, because that's so key. It's so important. And I think it's something that we don't do often enough. And the reason why it's important is because it grounds in what have we actually manifested? What have we actually created and done and accomplished, right? Because so much, 90% of our day is muscle memory and is habit and is done unconsciously. And so by not only setting your intentions ahead of time, but also taking time to reflect back, it's like that's when you get to create those new neurological pathways that allow you to see more possibilities, right? Because when we're in that negative mindset, when we're in the old thought patterns of, I've never been able to do this, I haven't been successful, whatever that is for you, we're only reinforcing that, right? And then so we're creating more opportunities to reinforce that. So when you step out of that mindset, when you can reframe it, right?
Yeah.
Reframe it, look for the positive, you're creating new neurological pathways, that neurocircuitry to start to hardwire this more positive habit and change into your life. You get to ground that in, and that gets to be more of that reality every time that you reflect. And that also comes back and shows you, what am I capable of? Otherwise, you're stuck in the same old mindset, even though you are a new person. Every day you're a new person. Every moment you're a new person. But when we only see ourselves as our past, then we don't even recognize, like, oh my gosh, I totally did this, which I've never been able to do before. And a lot of the times it might not feel big, but that's just because we're ready for it. And it's just that natural next step. Right. And so the more that you can ground that in, those changes, those things that you've done that's been positive, those ways in which you've expanded and actually begin to embody your intentions, that's when it really grounds it into this reality, but then also on a cellular level as well. Right.
Totally.
Oh, that feels powerful. I love that. Oh, beautiful messages with that.
Yeah.
Was there any other ones that you were doing, or I'm happy to tap into mine real quick. I don't have to spend a ton of time on it, but
yeah, so you can go ahead and jump into some of the ones that you grabbed, but I also pulled 2 crystals because I love to anchor these readings with crystals as well. And I feel like it is like that that little tactile thing that we can then really start to like engage with in it helps me to hold something when I'm making different intentions. And that's just me. I'm very, very sensory. So yeah, I just found there were that's 2 stones. And I think all of this, wow, is like big time throat chakra. Because
imagine that.
I'm feeling like this gravelly kind of throat chakra thing happening right now. And so I think probably that is coming from this, not just me, but from all of us, that we honestly, this is the one of the chakras that has been tuned down, closed up the most. And maybe not the most, but it's up there, because we're often told to not voice our opinions, not say our truths, because it can be misinterpreted, or that we look bad because we said a certain thing. But if it's really coming from our heart and it's coming out, this is vital. This is so essential. So the 2 crystals coming out are lapis lazuli. And that's how I say it. I'm not sure. Some people say lapis lazuli. I'm not sure. Correct me in the comments, because these are things I've read. I don't always know how to pronounce them.
Everybody says it differently. That's beautiful.
And then also, I grew up a Spanish speaker, so it's just like I don't know.
Say it however you want. It's your show.
Okay.
Beautiful.
It says step up to sovereignty.
Ooh,
and this I think is really amazing, coming through, especially with this, all these different alignments. Regulus being a royal fixed star, Jupiter and Neptune are both, extremely powerful planets that hold so much of the of the space, because they're huge. There's so much gravity, just thinking in terms of science. But and both of them talking about how do we come in, like the messages that we received of intention, that yang energy, how do we then actually become part of like sovereign individuals with this throat, like because that blue is like the throat chakra. And so how do we voice our authenticity in a way that can be
Yeah.
compassionate to others? Because the other thing that's coming through is turquoise. And turquoise was often gifted. It was a sign of friendship and respect and really sacred trading item. And this one says, find your way home. But what is your home, right? What is your home? Your home in here, your heart space,
Yeah.
So really like coming back to yourself before speaking your truth, knowing if it really is your truth, knowing if it really is to be spoken, and how to express it in a way that not only nurtures yourself but nurtures others.
Yeah.
So
And I see that too as like tuning inward to your own divinity,
yeah.
right? Your own connecting with the sovereign self within and allowing that to come through in this space. And that was just like with the heart card before, or that, the loyal heart one.
Yeah.
Also, it's like when we tap into that, when we connect with our authentic self, our divine self, and that those are the intentions that will manifest with grace and ease, because it's not just for us, it's for the collective. And that's the energy of all of this healing coming in very strongly too, right? But how do we do that? We use our voice to express that authentic, that divine and sovereign self, and
Right.
connect with others who are ready to receive it.
Yeah. And I'm wearing my turquoise earrings today. Those were the ones that felt like coming out.
Of course they did.
Like, all right.
I love it.
So yeah, I like that. It is when you put earrings on, it actually is a way to help the throat chakra. It's the higher throat. And
I love it.
yeah, it's kind of a little manifestation point back here. So
right.
it's an activation when you wear earrings. It's a very special magical trick.
I love it. And I don't wear earrings a lot, but I have my hummingbirds on today. And that was one of the cards that I saw as I was shuffling for my spirit animal oracle messages, was just flipping through it. And the hummingbird was like, hello, I see you.
That's so perfect.
You get to express this magic today. So
yay.
Beautiful.
All right, now I'm excited to see you pull some cards too.
Yeah, so I pulled them at the beginning before I jumped on, and every single one of these jumped out. And so the first one that we have is from my Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray. We need to start doing this affiliate stuff, right?
Oh, yes.
And it's the winter card, and it's wolf. And wolf is absolutely my spirit animal. And the message is take care of your needs. And so with that one, I really felt like, and you pulled a card, I don't know if you're going to share it, but it goes perfectly with this. It's like nurturing ourselves so that we can, so that we are prepared for the journey ahead, the journey of expansion, right? And like we said, we're coming out of this energy of the winter. We're coming into this rejuvenating energy, but we still need to nurture ourselves in order to be able to, we need to nurture the soil for our seeds to grow that we've planted, right? And so in order to nurture the soil, we have to nurture ourselves. We get to take care of ourselves in whatever way that means, on a physical, exercise, diet, on an emotional level, allowing yourself to be vulnerable and to express yourself in a safe and sacred place, and recognizing what community is available around you to be able to do that successfully. Nurturing the emotion, or the mental and the spiritual body. And so shifting those beliefs that are keeping us small, that are limiting us from, the divine that we get to create within this world. And just recognizing too, the compassion. That was something I meant to mention earlier. It was just the energy of this conjunction is so much compassion for ourselves, compassion for each other as we grow and expand and move into territory that we've never been before, right? Being gentle with yourselves in the possibility of failure, right? But it's like that's where the greatest learning comes from, is when we don't do it the right way the first time. But it's not being judgmental of yourself. It's not getting down on yourself. It's recognizing, I learned so much from this time. And so next time I do this again, or another opportunity comes, I'm going to see a whole new way to do it. And I feel so much better because I've already maybe not been successful, and that was okay. Having that plan B, I'm going to do this. And if it doesn't work out, then I'm totally satisfied with this other option. And so by taking the pressure off of what you're trying to manifest, what you're wanting to create in the world, by having that plan B, can allow you to, because I tend to do this, right? Like I get excited about it and then I smother it with my energy and keep it from coming into fruition. So it's like backing off and having a plan B, but also recognizing you're just here to enjoy the journey along the way and to let go of whatever limited outcomes you think are possible, and allowing the universe, divinity, God, source, spirit, whatever that is to you, to really take over, putting your first step forward, and then allowing for everything else to be supported in trusting in yourself that you're in alignment with your own divine guidance.
Yeah.
And that being said, the other one that fell out with it was the Traveler. And this is exactly what we're talking about. Move in a new direction. Go where you haven't gone before. Expand in ways you haven't expanded before. All about, I was listening to something by Brene Brown this morning. It's all about, and I think it was talking more about like a midlife crisis, but I feel like in the world, we're kind of at that phase, no matter what age you are, right? Like the world is having a midlife crisis right now. And it's about recognizing what is true to my authentic self, my heart, my soul's desires, allowing for that to come through and stepping into this new light. But it's doing it in a place of curiosity rather than obligation, right? Those energies are completely different. So it's what gets to unfold with this process versus I have to micromanage and control every aspect of it. And then it's like, nothing close to what I actually wanted, because I have all these obligations and beliefs that are keeping me from achieving that. Right. And then for my Oracle of Angels messages, I thought this was beautiful. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well.
Bring it a little closer.
Triangle. The light is just like, oh, it's so bright.
Oh, I see it better.
This beautiful angel. But it's number 34, and it's the card of liberation. And there's that throat again. And I feel like that's really speaking to when we do come into alignment, when we align our energies, when we are working from a heart space, from a soul place, when we're in that heart-brain coherence, all of the barriers get to fall away. We are liberated to be our true, authentic selves. And, just like we're stepping on here, being our weird selves together, somebody is bound to be out there that can appreciate it. Maybe is a little more weird than us, or in other ways, but it's really right. It's really just about being who we are and recognizing that as our divine and sovereign selves, we have a gift, we have medicine that the world needs in this, in this time. And whether that's one person or 5 million, like, it doesn't matter. You just get to shine and get to be received by those who are, who need that from something, somewhere, someone, and it gets to be you, and to not be in that energy of comparison, right? Like, I can't do this because I'm not, exactly. I'm not Tony Robbins, or I'm not, whoever else. I just get to be myself because that's magic for someone.
And just imagine if, all the other people out there that have already made big names for themselves, if they sat around and they questioned that, and then they would be still sitting at home.
Right. They started somewhere.
Yeah, they all had to start somewhere. And even if our journey isn't supposed to be like on a wide angle lens, like, it's so important.
Feel good to me.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what I want.
Even just
It is.
sharing, like you said, with just like one person is fine. Or even if it's not one person, share it with your own reflection in the mirror. Share it with yourself.
Absolutely. If you are
Oh,
the only person that gets to receive that message and that medicine, then
mhm.
that is more than enough.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
then the last one, the last one I pulled, and this was, oh, this is such a dear place in my heart, but I'm also recognizing that the last one, liberation, was 34, and this one is 56. And it's beautiful grandmother spider energy.
Yes.
Make your dreams real. And
Mhm.
this is so powerful to me. And not only just, yes, that bringing these dreams into life right now, which is such a powerful energy to do this, right? And like we said, especially when it's with a collective intent, or but also it's like we're weaving the web of life together. Oh my goodness. I'll see if I can share it. I don't have it right off the bat, but there was I think it was a middle schooler that I saw from another country. We're in the US, um, who won some international award for an art piece that she did. And it was hands knitting together, and the hands were the color of the earth, the blues and greens. And what she was knitting were people together. It was like a scarf, but instead of it being thread, right, or yarn, it was people. And it was very much this energy of we are creating collectively, we are creating the world that we're living in. So, how are you choosing to do that? What intentions are you setting forward? And are they from your heart and soul, or are they from, you know, a void or a place that is more of a projection of society or others on yourself? Is this genuine and true to me of something that I desire? And if that's where we're stepping forward, and that's where we're all coming together, and to create this place, we create magic, and we create this beautiful web where all of our dreams can come true, in a sense, right, when we come together.
Yeah. I love that image too. And like, we have
Right.
such visionary children.
Oh my gosh,
It's
thank
like
goodness.
I think maybe this too was like, number 11, like pay attention to the children in your life. Like let's see how they're embodying this energy too. Apologies if you can hear like a weird beeping. There's some truck out there. Is
No
making
worries at
itself
all.
very well known.
Well, it's just tapping into, yes, pay attention to the children, pay
Yeah.
attention to the magic that they're bringing forward, because their wisdom
So
is not
profound.
filtered, it's not
Yeah.
skewed, it's true, and it's genuine, and
Hmm.
it's pure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are our future. So of course, if we're teaching them and guiding them, hopefully in beneficial ways,
Yeah.
right, that they get to create a more positive place, rather than being in the energy of what has been our current reality. But then at the same time, recognizing that that's been necessary for us to come to some of these conclusions, and to make some of these huge generational shifts that are coming forward, is because it was necessary.
Hmm.
But then how do we create, so not just being stuck in the present,
Yeah.
but they're the ones that get to create the future through their
Right.
dreams. So let's support that.
Yeah. Ah, all right. Well, I'm thinking maybe it's time for us to shift our gears a little bit,
Yeah.
and maybe maybe what we can do, if you're on board with this, is maybe if we can kind of feel into like the one
Mhm.
collective belief. And
Beautiful.
one of the things that kept on seeing like it was coming through here was that divine sovereignty,
Mhm.
that the freedom. And so maybe our collective healing is around sovereignty and around
Oh, I love it.
like bringing back our freedom, in all the
Mhm.
tiny, tiny little ways in which we do so. And, one of the most powerful ways that we can bring back our freedom is through our choice and our voice and the power that's in that. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. So real quick, want to throw in some theta there before we tap in energetically, and that way we can take that new energy moving forward and connect with people.
Yeah. And if there's anybody here that's really new to theta healing, maybe you give them a
Yeah,
little description of what that is, because
absolutely.
it's a new word, and yeah.
It's really is magical, and there's energy healing, there's so many different modalities, and what I found with theta healing is that it really is the deepest and the most divine connection that I've experienced, and the fact that it can happen so quickly. And so we're working on belief levels, or on a belief level, right? And so this can be genetic, ancestral, personal, past lives, all sorts of things, but we carry these beliefs with us, whether we recognize it or not. So much of it is unconscious, right? And so by shining a light on these beliefs that are keeping us small, we have the power to change it, right? We set our intentions, we connect with, in my case, we connect with our own source of divinity, and to allow these changes to be made. And because we go straight to the source as far as the energy of unconditional love, we're bypassing all of the restrictions of everything else, in the sense of going above the universal laws of time, space, those sort of things, and allowing it to happen in our bodies pretty instantly, which is absolutely amazing. And so the only thing that I ask is for those who are open to receive this energy, and to receive these changes, these downloads and activations, is to just give your verbal yes wherever you're sitting. This engages the subconscious, self-conscious, superconscious, that we are making these changes on a DNA level, on a soul level. And so acknowledging that in with that sacred verbal yes, and then definitely type it in the comments to let us know, all who gets to receive this healing today too. And so there's 5 basic beliefs that we start off with, and so part of this, it's very much on a quantum level, right? And so with quantum sciences and things like that, one of the big things,
Very small level.
yes, one of the big things is that the power of observation, right? What happens in our world can change depending on if it's being observed or not. And then it's through that observation, through that processing of one individual, what reality actually takes place. And so through muscle testing is how we kind of check and allow ourselves to witness that. And so I was talking about the 5 basic beliefs. And so if you would like to make those changes, receive these downloads and activations, if you can muscle test on yourself, if you hold these beliefs, then great, do it. If not, that's totally fine. You can just sit back, relax, and receive. So the first 5 basic beliefs are: I want an instant healing. I want an instant healing. I deserve an instant healing. An instant healing is possible. I know how theta healing can work, and I know that theta healing can work for me. And if we can make these changes, all you have to do is say yes, but I'm also going to follow that up with the ones that we wanted to do for today, because in that way you're going to get a much deeper healing. And so keep those 5 beliefs in mind that we're saying yes to in our intents later. And so I'm asking you today, and all you have to do again is say yes. Would you like to know that it's safe, that it's possible, how it serves you, and how it feels to trust in yourself, your divine guidance, and God, source, universe, spirit, whatever divinity looks like for you? Would you like to know that it's safe to connect and express your own authenticity, and that it's safe to expand beyond your comfort zone? Would you like to know that it's safe, that it's possible, how it serves you, and what it feels like to connect with your divine sovereignty? And also we're downloading Creator's definition of what freedom is, of what sovereignty is, of what trust and faith and our own authentic self, what that looks like, how it feels, and how it serves the world. And finally, would you like to know what it feels like, that it's safe, how it serves you, and that it's possible to give and receive unconditional love? If you would like to make those changes, just give a verbal yes and drop a note in the comments. And then I invite people to just turn inward, just like that guided meditation. Just turn inward and just notice. This is the part where you just get to witness what experiences you're sensing, whether it's feeling, hearing, smelling, tasting, wisdom that's coming in, and just notice. You may feel a lightness in certain areas. You may feel some pressure relief or some tingling, and all you get to do is just notice it. So for those of you who give that verbal yes, just close your eyes and turn inwards and accept and receive this healing and these downloads and activations. Mm. And that just felt like a huge opening up. And actually, it was almost like the sea parting type thing, as far as just opening up the path to seeing and acknowledging and experience our own authenticity, our own sovereignty, and the divinity within, and clearing the path so that way we can move forward with grace and ease. Thank you. And I would love to know in the comments if anybody experiences anything you'd like to share with, or if any of those resonate with you. So that way we can celebrate those changes coming through.
Yeah.
Thank you.
you. Well, this was really good.
That's fun.
Yeah. I think to just kind of close up and start saying goodbye. One of the cool things, I actually found this really interesting little book.
Oh, that's cool.
Let me see if I can find the name of this. I'll drop it down in the description below. Oh, it's called Everyday Offerings by Leah Redmond. So this is something kind of cool. I discovered that it fits my hand pretty much perfectly. I have very small hands.
I love it.
So to close our sacred circle and this beautiful activation from Jupiter and Neptune and the two beautiful stars, Regulus and Merkab, thank you. We will just receive, like open up our hearts to receive a gift. And this is a divine gift. No pressure to actually take it. But if you do wish to give us a gift, and if we wish to receive it, what may it be? And let's see what this little book says. I love this so much. Oh, interesting. Make it public. If that ain't throat chakra, I don't know what is. So, and that's just so
High five to you.
synchronistic for us too. Starting this is going public. This is something that we're beginning, and then also, since you all have been witnessing us do this in front of you, make yours public too, in some small way. And that can even just be voice it to a friend, make a post about it, blog about it.
Don't let it die within you. Let it out and share it, because somebody else gets to receive that magic.
Somebody else. And so what I think is so beautiful is that the gift that was given is actually us giving a gift. Isn't that beautiful?
I love that.
Like
that's so perfect.
Like pay it forward.
Yeah.
They give gifts, we give gifts. And then whoever it is that receives something from us then goes on to hopefully also share it. Share.
It's that ripple effect. Absolutely.
And the
Gets to reach
grandmother
far and wide.
spider's web.
Mm,
So I
love
think
it.
this has been beautiful, and I'm so
Yeah.
excited to start forming this community.
Yeah.
And until
Mm,
next time, when we do
great.
something else that's just as exciting. So
Excellent. Well, thank you. Thank you for your time and energy, Naomi. And thank you for everyone that came across this. And if you came across it, then you are absolutely meant to receive whatever guidance, healing, transformation that's in this and that's available to you. So thank you for recognizing that you deserve to receive this. And I'm so excited for what gets to continue to unfold and to celebrate, for those that see this after the fact, put in the comments, like, what did you get to create during this energy and with this time? We would love to celebrate that. And you never know when it's going to inspire someone else or create a different community, or just what we get to come together when we acknowledge, when we celebrate, and when we lift each other up, we get to grow and rise together. So
yeah.
thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Dream really, really big. This is the day for it. This is the week for it. So go for it.
Shoot for the moon. And if you don't make it, then you get to fall amongst the stars, right?
How beautiful is that?
I'm pretty sure that's a quote, but yes.
Yeah, sure. We're
Love
making
it.
it a quote. Bryaunna said it.
Okay. Oh, so much love to you all. Thank you.
All right.
Many blessings.
Bye.